international scholars, and I think partly you're more vulnerable if you're not a native, and if you have any language barrier, it doesn't make you less intelligent, but if you have any communications issues or anything else to isolate you from a support network, they're all about organized predation and making it as easy prey as possible, and also trying to dominate fields, and so they don't like women in those fields, they don't like minorities in those fields, so forth. They go after people just for superficial.
Stand by. Oh no. That's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, I've documented in the Porthole to Justice exactly what she's explaining, which is organized gang stalking or predatory groups on Facebook that work with corrupt, it appears to me, corrupt judges to target individuals. So I've kind of documented that activity with a lot of other hold on just a second. I have to wait just a second to get her back. Just a technological interruption briefly. Yes, I'm here. Stand by. Okay, I'm calling you. She's emailing me right now. What's going on? I had an interruption in my device. Oh man. All right, there's nothing I can do right now. I just have to wait. Yes, I'm here. Oops. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hi, Amelia.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay, because they might not have liked what we were talking about.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and I have backup devices, and especially because we're not using Skype this time, we're using Facebook Messenger, so they cut me off.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that was kind of blatant.
It's better for us to use Skype, but Facebook Messenger works just as good when they don't cut me off.
Do you remember what the last thing was that you heard me say?
I don't. Please refresh my memory.
Okay. Now, let me know if you already heard this. I don't want to bore people, but I was basically saying, did you hear me reference Raynetta Jones? And I think her channel on YouTube is RAIJO.
Okay.
Yeah, she's an African-American, very intelligent, accomplished woman, and she worked at the United Nations, actually. I believe she was not a lawyer, but she was working, in their legal department, like maybe a paralegal or so, something like that. And so she was also running at a very competitive level, like very, very, very fast in literally running, and she might have ended up competing in the Olympics if she kept heading in that direction. And so I've realized that And there's some people like in the Facebook community, I don't know if they want to be named, but I know there's actually more than one off the top of my head, women that went into hard sciences like electrical engineering, aerospace engineering, things like that. And they were really badly gone after, with the covert neurological assaults and neurological battering. So it seems like there is an element at the head of this, even though people of all races and genders and everything and nationalities are being used as, minions to follow orders and carry things out. And some of them might be more gullible than others, and they even, they feel like that's something they want to do. Some of them are gung-ho, but it seems like at the top there is like this, misogynistic, supremacist, old boys network, and they really want to dominate certain fields, and they don't want they were just, vicious, and they will deliberately injure people and so forth out of participating in those areas. That's very dangerous, and not only is it dangerous, it obviously keeps the real potential for growth and development in these fields from being realized.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of why I brought up our background in regards to dancing, and of course you mentioned the Olympics. You were considering the Olympics, so I guess that's why I kind of brought it up, because I wanted to elaborate on that a little bit. Yeah, and I've documented that in the Porthole to Justice in regards to some of these corrupt judges and these gangstalking networks that are online on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Let me clarify though. No, I don't even know the current status, because I haven't been following, because it's been more depressing to me while I'm this injured. Because when I literally,
I'm sorry, it's not funny, but it's depressing to me too. But I
understand, yeah, because they caused me serious spine injury, and they watched me working really hard to recover from the spine injury, and then they deliberately recaused it. So it's very, I don't really keep up with watching other people dance and stuff so much anymore. I would like to get back to that, and then even getting back myself into dancing again too. But I'm taking it, slowly, to not get more emotionally traumatized on top. But when I was in the dance sport team for NYU, it was at an internationally competitive level, and they were invited to demonstrate as a demo event to the Olympics, but it was not a competitive event. And I don't even know if, now really, because I haven't watched the Olympics for decades, I don't know if it's a competitive event now, or it never made it into the, to that category of events. So what they do is, like, when they're considering a new sport for competitions, they first would have a process potentially that they just do a demonstration and see how people respond. So when I was on the dance sport team at NYU, that was the stage things were at. So I just wanted to clarify, like, I wasn't like on the verge of being in the Olympics or something. I don't even know if they have that category in the Olympics as of yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I had literally started serious studying of it before my actual memories even begin, because literally I don't remember anything before I was 6 years old, with the exception of two very brief events, less than an hour each. And one of them was that I was insisting, like, I had to get enrolled in, at a dance school, to be taking dance classes, and I took it very seriously, and I basically negotiated, because my mother was saying that she was worried it might take away from my academics, but if I promised to maintain all A's, as long as I promised to maintain all A's, and I did so, then I could keep going to dance classes. So I did the both. I kept my, I kept my A's, and I got to keep going to dance classes. And then later on, like when I studied at Alvin Ailey American Dance Center, I didn't actually have to pay money to go there, fortunately, because I wasn't really making money. I was a college student, university student at NYU, but I was, what I did was I made an arrangement. You had to audition, and you also, I had the good fortune, they let me work in the, let me see if I remember, I haven't thought about this for years, the Foreign Student Advisor's Office. I was working in the Foreign Student Advisor's Office as executive assistant to the Foreign Student Advisor, and so every hour I put into the office, I got an hour of class without having to pay, money out of pocket.
The Alvin Ally American Dance Center.
Alvin Ailey, Ailey, yes.
Okay. So not only that, you've actually studied at Harvard Law as well, right?
Yes, but let me qualify that too. What happened is these people had been trying to frame me since I was a kid. They would just try these, because I've never, been even tempted to be on the wrong side of the law. I was always such like a nerd and a goody-goody, and in fact I would get teased for that. I was never tempted to try drugs or anything, and what happened is they were trying to frame me left and right, and I was constantly being terrified that they were going to successfully frame me for something. And I even heard them at one point. I recorded them and uploaded it in 2007. They were saying, "She's off the hook. We have to..." Wait. I remember them clearly saying off the hook and on the hook. She's off the hook. We have to get her on the hook.
You are an incredibly articulate, amazingly talented documentary. Okay?
Thank you.
Anyways, go on. I'm sorry.
So basically, because I was so terrified about them that one day they might successfully frame me, I was trying to figure out like a quick, efficient way, and ways to help, learn enough to avoid that. And I sought out this wonderful professor, Professor Charles Ogletree. He was the director of the Criminal Justice Institute at Harvard Law School, and he did a trial advocacy workshop, and his focus was on the defense side, criminal defense. And I asked him if I could audit his coursework. So, and he was really, really wonderful to me, and he let me do that. So I sat in there and I audited, but I was not officially, there being graded or something like that. So I was not like, I want to make clear, like I wasn't officially enrolled as a student there, but I was there. I met several people. I actually met Dr. Maya Angelou when she came on the campus, and we talked actually about the epidemic of sexual assault on campus and how this kind of misogynistic, supremacist fraternity, semi-secret society type network seemed so shielded to be carrying these out.
Mm-hmm. And do you, these aren't isolated incidences, just on some of these college campuses. This trickles down to every level of society, and not just on college campuses. The targeting obviously is becoming more heated, more obvious and apparent, because we can witness our own president being targeted right now, currently, right?
Yeah, you know what? I almost never watch TV or listen to the radio, and so I'm very naive to a certain extent about politics. Like pretty much all the politics I've come to know have to do with the non-consensual human experimentation. Like if it weren't for that, like I would hardly pay attention to anything. So I don't really have much opinion on, I think these people are politicians. Somebody asked me like, "Oh, who do you think we should vote for?" Whatever. I'm like, whoever. I think I wonder if it matters. Like I think they're politicians and they make a lot of promises, and then we'll see what actually they do or don't do when they get in office. I'm kind of cynical that way, and I don't pay that much attention to it. The most political I've been is when I was in Massachusetts, actually, while I was there auditing in Cambridge, Massachusetts, under Professor Charles Ogletree. He was senator at the time. He later became U.S. Secretary of State. I believe, I hope I'm not getting his title wrong. Like I said, I don't even pay attention to politics. But he was U.S. Senator John Kerry. He was up for a re-election campaign, and he just seemed very likable, and he seemed very idealistic. And so I wanted to help him get re-elected. So I went and I volunteered, and I helped to get him re-elected. But that was basically it. That's probably the most political I've been.
Well, are you starting an initiative, or do you have an initiative for your work as far as exposing some of these crimes against humanity?
Oh yes, well I've been posting regularly. We just recently crossed over 50,000 people following on the community page on centralized on Facebook. It's the full name is Stop Non-Consensual Experiments on All World Citizens, and the community page is facebook.com/SNOEOA